Welcome to this month's episode to Smoking My Podcast. I'm super excited. We got our biggest guest yet. He's a recording artist. He's an entrepreneur and just pretty much creates a lot of dope shit. Jahni Denver, everybody.
What's happening?
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. How you feeling today, bro?
Good, man. I was actually excited. I was like, let me go do this. We're gonna just steam out, and fucking have fun.
Fucking A, man. Got catching you fresh off a plane from LA, bro. What were you out there doing?
Oh, just still tapping in on the farms, weed shit, hitting that highway, and
Oh, you got some farms out there?
yeah, my partners do. I was running my own in 2021, but now I just stay affiliated with it. I'm growing actually out here in Denver now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But,
Are you from here, bro?
I'm from here, yep, born and raised.
Hell
I spent 8 years in LA though. The last 8 years, and had a kid out there who's officially from East LA.
Hell yeah.
And but my dad health was kind of declining, and I was like, let me go back home and launch the brand out here where I'm from, because it launched in LA first. My brand Say Trees.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And so part of me wanted to make sure that you had that moment of like doing it at home. Hometown love,
I like that. I'm a little torn on that personally, on this hometown love stuff. A lot of people would say that you can't be a prophet like to your own people.
I agree.
And in your own place. And I got one. I don't know. An OG that I used to kick it with told me, I got one great example, and that's Kanye West. Kanye West was told to produce at Rock Nation. He said, produce at Rock Nation. And I think that's so crazy because he wanted to rap. He used to bust in that bitch, playing his music to all the people that didn't care to hear it at all. You got to, I seen that documentary or whatever. So I think it's super, super, super interesting. And I can't wait to hear your reasoning on why you came back. Because a lot of people would say it's harder to make it where you're from.
In different avenues, I would agree. Like musically, I always got more love out of state. I'd rock a show here. I'd say, hey, I'm from here, this, that. Like, fuck you. Nah, they wouldn't do that. But just here, Denver's its own little breed, and every fan has a cousin who's rapping too. And instead of coming up and ask you what you got going, they're asking you what their family members.
That's it.
You know what I mean? I've noticed that a lot. And I'm like, all right, it's like, it's like barriers up.
Wow.
Then you fucking travel one state over, or hit Nebraska, or hit
anywhere else.
And you're like, what the fuck?
Why can't,
So I felt it, but weed wise, pushing the brand in Cali, I just felt like Denver's such a weed state that I had to come back and fucking launch here,
Fuck yeah, man.
But it's different markets and there's different cultures,
Definitely. Even within the weed culture, there's still subcultures. Like I was telling my girl, I don't like seeing, almost looks corporate when I see these suits running.
I mean, that's what it is.
It's terrible.
And they call it, Brads and Chads is what the industry word is. Like Karen, in Cali especially, because we kicked the door down first here.
Fucking A.
And so I was always proud of that, but there was just this whole culture in Cali that didn't need all that regulation and all the, Apple Store look and all the shit. You could just be in some little shitty fucking place. As long as you had that fire, that's all anyone cared about.
Hell yeah.
And so it's an anti-fucking suits culture there, and then I come back here and I'm like, this is the suits culture. This is where they came and invested and bought and sold to bigger fucking more suits and more you lose touch with the culture and the community, and you don't care about them, and you only care about
profits.
And margins and all that shit, and they grow, and there's so much boof out here.
There is. Yes, there is.
Especially from 10 years ago when I was out here to now, it's like there's it's hard to find kill.
Fucking A.
you know?
It's just mixed. You have to, yeah. Especially when you have like regulations that don't allow you to make it strong and shit like that. You want to go back 10 years? Let's go back a little further, dude. You said you grew up here. How was it growing up in Denver as like a kid, teenager? How was that?
I was born here, and then my mom dipped out with us like when I was 5. And she took us all around the fucking country, dude. Like everywhere. And so that was good to soak up a lot of different cultures and, you know, East Coast and different things, you know. And so by the time I came back, I was 10, and that was 1995. And we moved with my pops. And so it was a whole different, like, parent. It was a whole different.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Everything changed. You know, we were moving around a lot with her. And so then I came back, and it was like, this is Denver. You know, my pops stayed in Lakewood. And Lakewood at one point was like a nice blue-collar suburb. And now it's like methed out, you know, like it's tore down. But I think about like what growing up in it was nice at one point, you know. But like there was a drug culture that I ran into through just, you know, I had a lot of fucking friends, like white friends who had bread, and by the time we got in high school, them dudes was buying drugs, you know what I mean? And
Like the real kind of
like real shit, you know, like motherfuckers was doing coke when they're 15 and
God damn.
everything. Like, and so that was a shock as far as like growing around it, you know. But then I grew up around a block away from me. My homeboys were all their cousins were from Glowville. And Glowville's the hood, you know? And so all these hood dudes kept popping up in like a blue collar suburb because their aunt lived their aunt lived a block from me. So even though we were like, my dad was trying to bring us to a nicer thing, the hood was a block away. And then there was apartments, and everybody was getting fucking high over there. So it's like the conversations were hustler and drug related by the time I was fucking like in middle school, you know?
Goddamn, yeah.
And so you're either on one side or the other, you're either using or you're selling.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, man, these dudes all got bread. You know, I'm able to middleman here, make some money, you know? So it's like what I was exposed to was just being on the other side of the drug game, everyone who was buying. And so I figured out how to just connect some dots, but not really like immediately in high school. I was still playing sports and still all into that, you know, and different things transpired where you eventually, I think subconsciously, you were soaking up all this game anyways. And so by the time that you get to running, you already know what to do.
God damn.
You know, so.
Yeah. I take it your parents divorced quick before you guys were.
Yeah, right away. My pops was in the NFL.
Oh, shit. My pops was in the NFL. Just throws it in there like it's regular shit to say.
Yeah, he was a middle linebacker.
For who? The Broncos?
No, the Cardinals.
That would have been the shit, though.
And
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, he got injured like immediately though.
Oh, that sucks.
But he's in the Hall of Fame at Texas A&M.
Oh, nice.
So he was a bad boy in college. You know, they had like the fucking crazy ass record and just. But he was in the league.
This joint kicking my ass, bro.
And he got injured, and so that like changed the trajectory of the family, you know. But he rehabilitated, and at the time he rehabilitated and played for the USFL.
Okay.
Which was like an arena league owned by Trump at the time or some shit.
Oh, okay.
And they had a team called the Denver Gold. So they were all from Texas, but that's what got us to Denver. And I was the first one born outside of Texas. here endeavor.
Holy shit.
So that's what landed them here. But, you know, their relationship ended, and
Pretty fast.
Yeah, so my sisters experienced the married life, but I came into like a divorce life.
Okay.
And
do you think that affected you in any way, shape, or form?
hell yeah. You know, and I didn't really realize until you become a father and you're like, how important these initial 10 years are, you know?
Wow. Yeah.
I think my pops missed the first 10.
No, that's fucking...
You know, so it's like you're picking up the pieces, you know, the foundation. But at the same time, you know, we're very different because of that. We're very similar, you know, driven, and I get all that from him and stuff in a different way. But, you know,
oh, yeah.
I'm a stoner, fucking rebel, and he's pretty straight edge, you know what I mean? So it was those experiences that made me fucking...
Okay, so your mom kind of, was she the kind of leaves, does her own thing after she's done with y'all? Because after 10 years, she said, hell no, I'm done with y'all.
My sisters were teenagers, and she was like, fuck these bitches.
He said,
she was like, fuck these bitches, and dropped us off, you know? And she was like, y'all want to see if the grass is greener? Here's this crazy ass dude.
Go ahead and find out. Holy fuck.
And so he was just so like militant, and fucking, we were just some wild ass kids who didn't have any structure. So
okay,
he got dropped off some problems, you know, and then we had a big problem. So it was a lot of turmoil in that period from 10 to like 17 in school and with him, and that whole time I was like an athlete and everything. But my sister actually was killed when I was 8, right before I turned 18. And that changed a lot. You know, I started smoking I started, the depression, all that shit was too heavy that weed fucking really did lift me and keep me alive, dude, you know, because
yeah, man.
Anger is the part of the depression that, you know, people don't always go after or talk about. It's usually sadness, you know, but it affects everybody differently. And definitely. I think I just had this fucking crazy rage because she was murdered. So I had someone to hate and had to go through the murder trial and go through all the shit. So it was very re-triggering. So weed is the only thing that fucking calmed me down, you know?
Yeah.
But there were some years where I didn't know how to navigate through it, and I did fight people, and I did make bad decisions, and was a short fuse and was ready to just fucking punch anybody. And the music helped get this shit off my chest, and because I've always like shifted through different things I've done, you know. When I was young in like middle school, I did martial arts obsessively, got my black belt, got to high school, obsessed with basketball, was late because of my crazy childhood and moving around, that I didn't do any of the fundamentals or teams, so I was learning like my freshman year as a sport. So it was a big thing. But by 10th grade, I was a lot better, but still rough. By junior year, I was dunking and super athletic. By senior year, I was shooting and windmilling. But, you know, I was late though, too. So plus I wasn't a good student. So I would kill everyone all summer in the state at the leagues and go play at DU, and then be ineligible regular season because of some fucking science class or something. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it was like I would shoot myself in the foot, and some people would be like, he doesn't apply himself. And my dad, it would just be so much drama. But I was too young to articulate that, like, yo, I don't have any study habits because my mom fucking had us in 100 schools each, you know what I mean? But I was just too young to even tell my dad that. I was just taking it like, I'm sorry.
I don't know why I suck so much.
Yeah. And ADHD wasn't a thing.
Wow, yeah. That's so tough. What was your relationship like with your father at that time? Whenever
It was
you had the skill, like the potential was through the roof, but the application was just a little.
yeah, it was rough because he was like, why can't you do this? You know, like, why are these teachers calling me saying you can't shut up in class or you didn't do this and all you have to do is come here. He couldn't get it, you know, and I couldn't even explain it. I'm just saying sorry. But now I look back like, damn, why did I tell him that it's really hard to pay attention?
Because that was fucking shifting schools and moving places.
You know, and you're moving around so much that it's easy to disassociate. And that's where some of the ADHD has been linked to fucking the trauma, you know, that people deal with and zone out because fucking zoning out's better than
fucking being
what
here.
they're dealing with.
Oh,
But it takes an adult to say some shit like that. So I felt like my whole educational experience from like 5th grade and up was hell.
Wow.
Was hell, dude. You know, they're like fucking.
No one fucking listens, man. No one's listening. Wow, just expecting.
Well, this is also like, it was a racist. I dealt with a lot of racism that I didn't even really know was racism because you're a kid, and it's not always, you know, it's not always like
The N-word.
we're not cussing you out and fucking chasing you down, but you know, we are gonna fucking suspend the shit out of you for shit that, you know, or we are gonna fucking
shit that Clarence can do. You can't even kind of almost do.
You know, like, you're ineligible for the season, you know, and you're like, damn, you couldn't work with a fucking 16-year-old kid who's like, that's all he got, you know what I mean? Like, so it just, now I look back like, damn, like the
system failed you.
The
system failed you, dog.
Motherfuckers was not cool here in Colorado.
Damn.
So my sister but it was cool in Lakewood, like, to a degree. So my sister gets killed right before my senior year, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why the hell I thought it was cool to go to school 2 weeks later, you know, like, because school was starting. She got killed July 31st. School starts in August. Mm-hmm. I'm like, let me go. I'm going to stay with my mom now in Longmont. She's always lived way out there. I don't want to go to the same school that my sister and me both went to. I don't even want to be here. So I'm going to go with my mom. So I go to Longmont. And that was the worst decision ever because Longmont is like a lot different than Denver.
Where's that at? I'm dumb.
Exactly. You know, well, it's like 30 miles north, you know, but it's just like a pure suburb. Okay. They all were raised together. And then here comes this Denver thug who just got the super chip on his shoulder. His people are getting murdered in his life. He's just a gangster, basically, is how they viewed me. And so I was getting strip searched.
What the fuck?
Without a parent. Shit like that, you know, that I didn't know was wrong. But long story short, I try to fucking play ball out there because I never played my freshman year.
Yeah.
Now I'm at my best skill-wise. Yeah. I'm like, let me just put it all into basketball. Mm-hmm. So out here you can have 4 years of eligibility. I didn't play my freshman year, so they have to vote on this for me.
Oh, wow.
So they go to the league. The league 8-0 unanimously is like, let him play.
Okay, good.
I'm like, fuck yeah.
I thought you were going to tell me the other way.
I'm going to eat this league up. I'm dunking. The coach is happy. Here we go. Let me focus on this. So in that time, though, I was still dealing with my sister's death, and I went and spoke to the counselor and told him I'm like suicidal and I'm having a rough time. Well, anyways, it goes to state and they deny me, and I didn't know why they denied me, right? And then the counselor comes back like, my bad, I had to report what you said because once you say something like that, it's my duty to. And so it ended up being like I looked like this crazy wild kid, and they're like, no, you know, we're not gonna do it, you know.
Are you?
And they denied me, right? So that put me on the fuck the world then.
What in
mode, you know?
Fuck?
Yeah, I look back and I'm like, and then I found out like an athletic director from Lakewood like hit them up and was like, he wasn't the best student. Yes, his sister was murdered, but we don't think that he should be rewarded for
that.
For 3. I was like, damn, this dude went out of his way to like shit on me.
Really not give you a chance.
Right. So that put me on the fuck the world mode, you know? Because then I'm like, I don't have basketball. And I was just a clouded teen. Like now I think like, why didn't I just like go try to walk on somewhere? But I already just was like ineligible my senior year, and then I was going to have a redo. And because I was 17 and I dropped out after my sister was killed, and I came back like this time 18, but I was technically a super senior because I left and I had to come back and complete it. But I wasn't any older than the kids. So I was 18, and then they're telling me I can't play. So that was about to be 2 seasons back to back. I'm right now fucking a very skilled player. All the players know about me, but I'm not getting the chance. So then I just got with all the dudes from the hood and went on a fuck the world mission. It was, you know, just went bad for some years.
Shit. You seem to be very emotionally mature, but as of now, did you do therapy or what was that like? What was that just not talked about?
The weed was the therapy.
I mean, we all do that kind of
thing. The weed was a therapy, you know, and God and just, you know.
But never no actual thing with a professional talking about, because it sounds like you did some healing.
It feels like, yeah, I've done healing, but I'm just like this,
on your own.
I just never felt like I've done it with people like you and fucking my real peers out in the world.
Okay.
Never just a sit down and some lady, you know. Even though I think it's more accessible to see some of that now with social media and identify.
Fucking A.
And my baby's mom actually, my kid's mother, Mercedes, has helped me with a lot of shit because she's a life coach, and you know, I've eavesdropped on some of her stuff. I'm like,
sessions.
Yeah, I ain't gonna listen to you though, but I hear what you're saying.
Damn, bro, back-to-back seasons.
But you know, so what I didn't say is like the previous year, a close girl in high school died in a car accident, right?
Okay.
1 year later, my sister gets murdered. 1 year out of that, my best friend at the time who I was staying with gets murdered. So it was 3 deaths back to back. So that's why it was so easy to just
fuck everybody,
go crazy. Oh. And mushrooms, I felt like saved me one night. I fucking was like on an ill-ass trip. I was wilding out, fighting the world.
Been there.
In the bathroom, locked myself in there, you know, hearing God.
Oh, fuck.
Talking to him. Seeing my grandma. Being like, man, I can't be like this for grandma. I saw a vision and like cried, dog. Like, man,
wow,
I'm better than this. I'm a good person. You know what I mean? I'm just punching people because I'm fucking hurt.
Yeah.
And I just want to just fight the world, you know. But no matter what I do, my sister's not coming back. You know, so it's like it's hard to swallow those pills, you know, in life.
It's fucking, can't even comprehend what it would take. You know, definitely for a kid, it would take an adult who would be willing to work with him. Because kids don't understand that eventually, or like ultimately at all. Imagine a hurt, damaged individual expected to put himself together.
Yeah, so I got around some other hurt individuals.
Yeah, I was going to get right back into that.
Who had experienced murders within the family, and we're just a bunch of fucking lost boys on the streets. And so that's who you click up with.
Hell yeah.
My dad had a lot of game to give me that he wouldn't give me because I became
a bad kid.
Opposite of what he wanted me to be. So he just let me go fucking destroy some shit, you know?
Okay. So they don't let you play back-to-back seasons. You're pissed at the world.
Fighting everybody.
You don't need to get
I have a mushroom trip that helps fucking...
Really, what are those called? Epiphanies?
Yeah,
it almost fucking makes you come to.
And then I also was like seeing the future, being like, I could have anything I want, you know, like I was just having those moments, like,
fuck yeah,
on mushrooms in Glowville, at my homegirl Jackie's house.
Poor Jackie.
Yeah, she knows. I was in that mirror coming out on one like, yo, Jehovah is real. Like ill stuff.
That's crazy.
But I started rapping because their other cousin
Yeah.
Emilio Rodriguez was this crazy ass fucking
Shout out.
gangster, right? Glowville,
Hell yeah.
Golden Gloves monster, right?
Fuck. Beast at it.
Yeah, he's beast, and he didn't like me until we got in this huge brawl together, and he saw me fight, and after that he was like, you know, like you only won his respect in battle. He was he was a soldier, but he used to be like, get up, let's rap. Freestyle with me, and he's a nigga you just don't want to say no to. You can't say no. He might punch you, you know. And I'm like, all right, you know, I've rapped with my homies in high school, you know, but like, it wasn't my choice.
Mm-hmm.
And he really just gave it to me because I was still dope, but he gave me little techniques with the voice and the mentality. And I had been through so much shit that I had a lot of real shit to actually talk about, you know. And so I started writing more, writing. And then I started letting it out. And that was the biggest therapy, is once you actually say how you feel, what you've been through.
Letting that bitch out, literally.
Letting it out was the most healing thing ever. So then I push into, now this is a rap phase.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. But see, I need it. It's clear though. And I'm sorry I cut you off, but the determination, the type of mentality to me, based off of what you said, just these little short moments, is you were just that kind of individual. Yeah. By any means necessary. Oh, you're going to give me this to work with? Watch me work with it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to watch me. And that's just, it excites me, bro. I love a guy that can really double down on a passion like that. So
I've done a lot of shit, but I also, you know, move on to the next chapter. So thus far.
Rapping, so you turned it all about rapping into rapping.
So yeah, I went fucking martial arts, then it went to basketball obsession, then it went to gangster years. Fighting, robbing, doing everything you could. Then it changed to rapping.
Did you ever get locked up when you was out there wilding?
I've been blessed because I prayed through the whole thing. You know, like my mom raised me as a Jehovah's Witness the first age 5 to 10.
How did we skip that?
Yeah, it was
no
crazy.
Birthdays and shit.
It was rough, dude. So we were already poor, so it was a good it's a good excuse when you're poor already. Like, nah, we don't do none of that. But then my dad was a Christian, so they're very similar, but you know, and I have my own, I'm more loose with it, but I was a prayer. I prayed. And so I prayed through the streets and all those times for protection and stuff, and I definitely dodged prison for what we were doing, and definitely dodged fucking getting killed for wilding out, robbing fools and all that shit, you know. But I knew I dodged some fucking pitfalls and shit, so I knew that it was like God saving me, and I had to choose differently, or I would be like everyone else. Because I'm having these years, and motherfuckers is dropping like flies and getting murdered and going to prison, and my homie Meeks, who got me to rap, has been locked up since 2006 in a mental hospital, and I haven't seen him since. And that is 18 years, you know, so motherfuckers is like, I saw everything it had to offer. And
I'm gonna,
you know.
Yeah, no, I want to know what inside of you tells you to go left. When there's motherfuckers who see what it has to offer, who see the fucking road to nowhere, and still head first towards it. What inside you told you, nah, do the rap thing?
I think because I wasn't fucking raised in that. I had my own thing, and I ended up there because I ended up feeling like how they all did. Broken and desperate and depressed and insecure, all those things. Like, I could identify it, but I wasn't raised in the projects. I was raised poor, just as poor, if not more poor, but isolated with my mom moving all around. So eventually the mentality met up, but I think I was able to at least look from an outsider's in, like, they're like this because of this, and I'm here because of this. So I could find the root.
We're not the same.
I could find the root and be like, I can do more. And then my homie,
that's pretty good, but
who was killed when I was 19, Toto Rodriguez, was like a hood star, you know, like the Birdman, the tough guy, the cool guy, the charismatic guy. He was everything, you know. He was a baller, and I looked up to him as an OG, and he knew I was talented in different ways, and he was the one who was like, nigga, if you think you can do something, go do it. Like, quit feeling like you have to be here and be down. You know, go do that shit. And, you know, a few months later, he was murdered. And I didn't take his words heed at the time. I was still reactive, and now we're going to retaliate. And all the shit, you know. But you look back now and you're like, he was real enough to be like, if you feel you could do something, go do it. And plant those seeds. You know, but that's such a journey to decide to have an idea and finally try to execute it.
I find it pretty fucking damn near poetic when people who are expected to have no substance tell you this wasn't a fucking guy who graduated college. This wasn't someone rich already. Or maybe he was rich in a different way. I don't know.
Yeah.
No disrespect. But this was a hood dude telling you, go be great.
Yeah.
This was a heel fight. This was a hood dude telling you, you can do something. If you got it in you, you got it in you, go show the world. And I find that interesting. Because sometimes
I feel like God's messages come through different people at different times. It could be the homeless guy, it could be this person, that person, but the truth will come. And I was such a rebel with my pops that I got the truth, the same truth he gave me, I couldn't receive because of his demeanor, tone, everything. Like, I just was like, oh, I'm not listening. But I got it in the hood, and I got it all around, and I got it torn and moved around, and it was everything he always had told me. But I had to receive it from others, you know, at the time. But that's dope because I feel like God's message will be delivered. And that's why I'm loose spiritually and religiously, because I'll never say somebody's wrong and their shit and their ways are off, because it's like, how could you say that when God can come through anyone?
That's a great point. Yeah. That's a good point, bro. That takes spiritual maturity. Yeah. I could tell you, not only like you got old soul, bro, I could tell.
Yeah.
Because it's okay. So honestly, fucking insane adventure already, bro, your life. And we're not even close to not halfway, maybe. But you witness a bunch of hardships in your life. You witness it. You almost go off the wrong fucking end. You somehow managed to go the right way. Start making some music. Starts to happen. When do you start to be like, nah, like I got it. I got something going. This is real. This one, I tried basketball. I tried this, that, and the 13th, but no, this is the one. This is the. What was that moment?
I started recording in 2008, and you're just like, it just takes so much more effort. And so you're like a couple times at the studio and you're re-listening to those, but you're not really like focused on a plan and trying to put a project out. And so there were some wandering years where I was just like dabbling and doing a show here and just real loose with it. But just, it took people coming in and be like, yo, what's the fucking plan here? Like, how are we going to roll some shit out? So I didn't even drop an album to like 2012. So there was like 4 years of like, people know you're an artist, but you don't really have any tangible fucking work, you know? So I think that year it got serious, and then I had done mad shows around town. Then I had dropped a project, and then I had met some other artists, did some features, you know, start just going down the path of an artist independently.
Hell yeah.
And then it didn't really turn up, I think, until I started doing my own shows at a venue here, Johnny Denver's Hip Hop Wednesdays. And then it was just like, okay, people know me as Johnny Denver now. all that old shit is like of the past. I've created a whole new person, you know. Because my name's Jahni, but I changed the spelling and I added the Denver, you know, because of just being born and raised.
Yes, sir.
And so, but I created a new person, you know, and I was just in that. And I was having therapy by putting out the projects. And then I met Snow the Product.
Shout out, Snow the Product.
Yeah, and she changed the game for me with when I was meeting up with them and they were cool as fuck. And at that time, they were the coolest fucking artists that I had encountered. Busy too, you know, but just in a different way, you know, because Busy is still, you know, kind of eccentric and kind of like, he's a real Grammy fucking winner, you know, and he's a little, you know, he's older. And so like you get the artist feel from him, but he always showed me love. But Snow and her crew felt like the homies. And they showed a lot of love. And I was working at a dispensary at the time and I invited them to come. And that's when it was new. Like now we laugh about like, if artists on tour and you tell them, come check out the dispensary, they're like, fuck no, I'm not going there, you know? But in 2013, it was fucking dope.
Was it?
So they were like, yeah, we'll come. So I brought him in and we got to just be cool. And I remember the day we were on her bus or van. And she turned around and she was like, you ready to go on tour? And I remember that was just such a fucking moment in time. Even her just turning around and saying it, you ready to go on tour? And I'm just like, yes.
1,000%.
Please. And she took me on tour and that shit was fucking ill as fuck. And a crazy experience going city to city. And then I started seeing like the differences in states and how different states are just showing me love. And I'm like, now, whoa, this is dope. But obviously like her fans are fucking excited about what she's choosing, you know, so there was a little bit of an extra, a lot of an extra push, you know, all of a sudden I'm in front of crowds that came to rock. Mm-hmm. It's not a showcase where they're like, they might be an artist and I, you know, so I'm not fully feeling a crowd ever unleash until then. And she's showing me how to fucking do it. So I learned a lot. Like there's been different times in my life where there's a mentor that reveals theirself. God puts at different times, it's been different people, and this was the first time that it was a woman who I would listen to and learn from outside of my mom or something, you know. So I have a lot of respect for Snow.
Fuck yeah, man.
She's super fucking powerful and just strong, you know. And you always gotta like, I gotta be like, she's doing it, you know. Mm-hmm. She's doing it, like,
yeah,
you know. So she added just a dope perspective. And I toured with her for a while, and then when I met my kid's mother, and she got pregnant, it just changed the fucking dynamics of, I can't abandon you to go on tour while I'm still trying to make it pop. And then I think years pass in those initial years. Do you have kids?
I don't have kids, bro.
Those first few years are a blur for any parent, you know, like 1 through 3, it's a blur of preparing, having it, the anxiety of everything. And so while I was becoming a father, I think our distance kind of grew a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I probably could have dealt with that better looking back, hindsight, you know what I mean? But yeah,
definitely.
But becoming a father is some real shit. And dealing with navigating through fucking your own dynamics, you know. So there's been so much growth after that, becoming a father, seeing the perspective fucking shift from everything I can see and gain to everything I could teach and leave. And the fucking tug of war of still wanting to achieve and leaving a legacy, because somewhere in those dynamics, my mind was like not, I didn't care as much to be seen. I just was looking for what I was looking for, lifestyle wise or legacy wise, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then you kind of look at and then you start dissecting yourself, like, well, why did I want to? What were my original reasons? Like, to be seen, you know? Where is that in, you know what I mean? And did I just want a better life, or did I want to be the greatest rapper ever? And so you start fucking analyzing those thoughts, you know what I mean? Like, what do I really want here? I want a good life. I want this. I want to live this life. You know, do I need to be on Hot 97 being like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so I started like analyzing, like, what do I, you know?
Yeah, reassessing your aims.
Right. But the thing is, through it all, I loved weed. Right?
Ultimately.
So much.
Through all that, one thing stayed true.
More than anything. That's what helped hone the spirituality. That's what helped the healness. That's what helped me fucking mature. That's what helped me through depression, loneliness, all kinds of shit. Helped build community with cool people.
Fuck yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That weren't fucking cartel members. You know,
for sure, professionals.
Like, just cool ass fucking people, non-judgmental for the most part too. So I found a lot of fucking just love in the stoner community. And so even when I was rapping and we're touring around with Snow, then boom, we stop in Ann Arbor, Michigan, right? Big fucking stoner culture, kind of like Boulder, but over there. And I got to see it. And then so I'm so like weed nerdy in this moment, like, man, oh yeah, we're talking strains, we're smoking, we're so glad. Weed's everything on the road, especially when you're out of these weed states and you're just hoping somebody fucking blesses. Mm-hmm. So then the stoner community, I was like, man, I just really love fucking weed and talking about all this shit, but I'm still rapping, still moving around in this. And then, you know, I meet Dizzy Wright.
Shout out Dizzy.
And that was another chapter too, because he was the stoner mentor, artist, brother, you know, like,
fuck yeah.
He taught me a lot as well. And he had his own strain and he was branded and he was on trays and I was seeing something more than just being in the industry. I was seeing what he's doing with his influence and intertwining it. I was like, this nigga is dope, you know? And it was 2016, his fucking strain wins the Cannabis Cup here or something like Crown, or over there, yeah. Crown OG.
Fuck yeah.
And Dizzy OG.
Fuck yeah.
And it was so strong. So this is where I'm like, I'm from fucking Denver. I want to think we have the best weed. I'm in it. And then I go to LA with Snow.
Not even goes.
And I'm like, oh my God, there's levels to this. I haven't even been smoking anything. This is dope. I'm fucking sleeping on it. Like, this is a different level. This is narcotic weed.
Yeah, right? This is a fucking drug.
And I went to the festival, and here it's so regulated, and they're like, oh, no, on-site consumption, only, and all these things.
Bullshit ass restrictions.
And so I go to LA, and these motherfuckers are blowing it down. Mm-hmm. Selling pounds everywhere. It was still the pre-ICO days before they went fully legal.
Yeah.
Packs everywhere. I was like, this would never, like, niggas in Denver is the grimiest for the smallest amounts, but we're here in Cali, and these fools have, obviously they're ready to go, but still just the 50 packs on a bunch of tables.
Mm-hmm. I've seen it. I've been there, yeah.
And I think Paul Wall was there that year. Jesus. And he's smoking a 3-foot fucking bat.
Of course.
Baseball bat blunt. My bad, not bat. It was an actual baseball bat rolled by the fucking Weavers. It said Sluggers or Satellite OG. I don't know. There's video footage of this. But he's smoking, and I'm like, what is going on here? Beautiful women everywhere. And usually out here, I experience the fine ass girls weren't at the festivals. Mm-hmm. And they don't smoke. Mm-mm. In LA, they smoke. They're rolling up. They're everywhere. And I was like, oh my God. I just had the moment of just like, this is weed heaven. This is it.
Yep.
And I was like, I'm moving here, you know? But it was Snow, though, too, who got me to LA. Because just like she said, are you ready to tour? It could have been before that. Or it was probably after. She was the one who was like, are you moving to LA? Like, are you going there? Like, that's, every artist goes there, you know? And I was like, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Had no, of course. Had no fucking plan to.
Just, oh man.
So then we end up moving together to LA. I moved with her and her family to LA. It was epic. And she left Texas and we all go and we're staying in this, her crib, and it's like an artist vibe, and
Jesus.
It's a great fucking fresh energy of it, like, you know, let's take this shit over.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I blew it first of all.
Long story short,
I blew it. No, I didn't blow it. You know, like shit changed. You know what I mean, too. But that was such a dope moment, right? So, but I also like was introduced to the Cali industry, right? And I found a plug up north, and I was like, you know, I felt like I manifested. I was like, I'm gonna find a plug out here, you know, like I'm gonna get back to hustling, and I went up to North Cal and got introduced to fucking that whole world. And just like, I love weed so much, and I was just so already obsessed that the obsession just kept getting bigger. And it's so funny, there'd be times where I was like, I'm quitting smoking, like I'm done, I'm gonna straighten my life out. And then like weed went legal here, and I was like, I can't fucking quit, right? Then I was like, I'm gonna slow down on smoking. I went to California and it was like wild, and I was like, I can't quit. And then I'm like, let me chill on tour a little bit. And I started touring with Dizzy, and them niggas was the fucking super smokers. It was the first time where I saw, like, because usually we would all smoke a blunt together. We pass around maybe, you know, 2, 3. Even if we chain smoked them, it was 1. And Dizzy was the first one who would put like 5 in the circle, because he said he don't ever want to wait. He always wants to be like, I was like, this thing is crazy, you know? So now, but I learned, that's how we smoke now. We put a bunch in rotation and fucking go. And so he was the first, but he came and did a show, and we rolled him 100 joints, me and my boy, or 100 blunts or something, right? Because that's when I was still at the dispensary. So I was using weed to help leverage shit with rap. I invited Snow to the dispensary. I was able to bring weed to Dizzy. You know, it was a great icebreaker. So I'd use the weed to fucking help get me indoors and stuff, and then jump on musically. But weed would be like my little superpower, my leverage or something, you know, because I always could get the kill. But then it got to a point where when I started overanalyzing, like, what am I in this for? I had a kid. And I needed like actual bread to survive now. I can't be the guy on the couch winging it on the tour bus and fucking doing that life. It's not real at the end of the day when that tour is over.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
For me.
It's very grown up, yeah.
And I got a kid now.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like, where do I make money from? Selling weed. Double down. And so then, as I was integrating out of Snows, I started my own brand, Say Trees, right?
Yes, sir.
It was born right when my daughter was like in the same age. It's grown as she's grown. and it kept, just opportunities kept coming, and then I was able to, my boy hit me up out here and was like, we want to name a strain after you. This was 2019. This was before Say Trees, actually. And my boy Travis hit me up and was like, we want to do the Johnny Denver OG through Shift Cannabis, which he owned at the time. And I was like, what? Here I am hanging with Dizzy, and they have their own strains. And Demrick and DJ Hoppa have their Stony Point, their own strains. And I was thinking I had to get to this point where I had 100,000 followers and mirrored their life before an opportunity would come like that. But I think being around them, supporting that
industry,
like I would show up to their fucking grand debuts at stores because I love them and I love weed, and so I'm like, yes, I'm gonna support. So I never I never hated nothing. I just was like humbly supportive.
Hell yeah.
And then an opportunity came right before we went on tour one time, and I had my own strain, and I was like, man, like, and so it opened up marketing within the industry on a real level. Because I was like, go get my shit. It's on Weed Maps. It's in the legal market. There isn't no trap shit. I got my own strain, blah, 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 blah. But then I also got to see like, hey, when I asked, can we do a custom package? And they're just like, no. I'm just like, oh shit, I'm really not running anything here. I'm just the
name, maybe.
I'm the guy. Mm-hmm. Can I get some of that? You know, like, and so you start seeing like, fuck, I'm not in control here. Yeah. So I wanted to start my own brand to be in control of. And I came up with Say Trees in Jamaica, 2016 with Dizzy and all of them, and it was the inaugural Cannabis Cup in Jamaica, right? And so I was just so overly loaded with weed culture, and I was like, trees! And I was like, but with 3 E's, you gotta say trees! Just high as fuck.
Some high-ass shit.
High-ass shit. Well, it's not trees, it's trees, right?
Yeah.
Just high. And we eventually had to say trees to it. And fucking... Then more shit kept happening. Like, okay, I released a bunch of dope merch. People love merch. People love the name. Everywhere I was wearing it, they were like, say trees, trees. Like, it's commented on, you know, where I'm like, okay, I've done enough rap and I've done enough rap shirts to know that people are excited without me having to get them excited just off a name. You know, they're like, they respond to it, they see it, they go, they got it. So I'm like, we got something here. And so I just kept pushing. And then eventually I met some farmers that were like, yo, let's put your brand out. Like, let's do this shit, you know, like, come grow with us. We'll put your brand out on shelves in the legal market. You could piggyback on our fucking license. And I was like, man, I've been trying to get in this industry for so long. And I didn't know how. I wasn't a millionaire. I tried to go the social equity route in Los Angeles before it even gotten here. And I'd put some teams together, and, you know, we had some fallouts, and I kept trying to assemble a team to do this. And I'd always be like, all right, we need this person. We need the grower. We need the accountant. We need this to, you know, like, our weed Avengers. This is how we do it. And it just kept not working. And I also kept hating being like I need a grower, you know? I was like, I need to become the grower and just eliminate
fuck
that
everybody,
shit.
Yeah.
And so I started hanging around growers up there, farmers. Got finesse too.
Oof.
Put money into this, put money into that, you know, and we'll show you how to, you know, and then you like look back and you're like, did I have to fucking pay all that shit? Or other dude fucking got me to invest in a property, then like, no, it was some handshake deal type shit, then was like, no one's allowed on the property, you know, and you're like, damn, like. So I was running into like shit that as a kid I would have just been like, kill him, you know. But I'm like a dad now, and obviously don't want to go. Yeah. Obviously don't want to fucking go to prison for life. So there was some stuff that I had to like eat and take on the chin.
Fuck yeah, that's fucking crazy, because you want to think as weed is like such a straightforward and trustworthy business, because it's supposed to be a bunch of hippies, a bunch of lovey, you know, dudes.
Once the money comes in, you know,
everything's out the fucking window.
Oh yeah, because, you know, but it's just like, it's all your mentality, because some people will be like, there's money for everyone. There's plenty of money to keep making. Even if it goes wrong right here, we could fix it forwardly. And there are some people who just think it's just one moment and want to take it. But I was that person at one point, you know, on a small level. So, you know, there were some things that were karmic, maybe. But just on such a large level for me to be like, damn, is this how homie felt 20 years ago? You know what I mean? Like, fuck. But those are little lessons, you know?
Fuck yeah, man.
So I'm hanging around. I'm getting my ass kicked by the industry. I'm fucking getting finessed. And then finally, some other homies hit me up and they're like, why don't you come grow here? Lease a fucking 10K from us, you know, and we'll do a split. And so I'm like, here's this huge opportunity. So now I'm fucking hustling like crazy.
I know what it means, but for the people that don't, what does leasing a 10K means?
Oh, my bad. It's a 10,000 square foot grow.
I don't know what it means.
And so I'm leasing something that they already own.
Okay.
Because they have such a huge fucking operation.
Gave you a spot then to do
they have a 500 acre mountain.
Oh, shit.
Full of gardens.
Oh, fuck.
And so every year, you know, you're off grid, so it's not, talent isn't the easiest thing to find. So sometimes they're figuring out like, who could we fucking run this garden while we run these three and this and that type of situation.
Nice little deal.
So I got able to just get grandfathered in by some dudes who've been up there for fucking decades. They built this fucking huge platform. So it was another blessing. And there's been moments like that, like Snow taking me on tour when she was already over here and I was down here. She helped me skip the line. Then I'm trying to get a license in LA through social equity, and we're just butting heads. It's not working. It's hell. There's so much politics that we don't even know about, that we're not in the runnings at all. And then here's some guys who are like, we already have a license. Mm-hmm. Come on. That's, you know. Cool. And so it was just God fucking let me keep skipping these lines. So now I'm just operating without doing any of that shit. And motherfuckers are like, how are you fucking, at what point did you become this grower who's on the farm? Like, weren't you just the guy with the Say Trees t-shirts? You know, so now it put me in the shit for real in the industry. And so then, you know, chaos happened on that mountain. It was 2021 when the market crashed from fucking $1,000 packs to $400 packs, and it was my first year, so all the investment got eaten up by just operating, and you know, lost a couple hundred bands, but to me that was fucking everything, you know. So it was like getting chopped through the blender for the shit. Then I go back to LA and I'm white labeling just to fucking keep the brand alive, but I'm fucking with that new hustle and the distros and people who just got the packs, and now you're just fucking packaging. But it didn't feel like my soul was into my brand because I'm buying weed from other motherfuckers and I can't stamp this shit and say I grew this.
Wow.
And I see a lot of brands who do that and they don't care, and that's fine. But I was just such a stoner hippie grower that I really feel like your soul is intertwined with this plant. It's all your energy taking care of it, and it's symbiotic, whatever. And I wanted my energy to be in these bags, and I wanted to say I grew this, and I really am in the field. And so I was like, but I got to grow indoor. I can't just... In LA, they didn't care about the fucking outdoor in the depths like they did in North Cal. You know what I mean? I mean, to hustle, but not to be like, this is my brand, here's some outdoor, you know? And I went down there and got like embarrassed a few times by like going to dispensaries like, yeah, check that out. And they're like, right on, you know? Like, we literally have the fucking killest weed in the world right here, and you're showing me fucking outdoor. Not saying, not a shot to the outdoor, but there's levels to aesthetically.
Oh, 1,000%.
And so I was like, I need to grow some ends. But around that, so I did at that time. Then I'm getting the call, Pops isn't doing too good. Come back and be there for him. You know, he's fighting cancer. And so the last 2 years I come back to Denver. But I've got all kinds of friends in the industry now. So then my homegirl Natalie hits me up with Boulder Built and is like, let's drop say trees out here. We'll cultivate for you, distribute all the things you were just doing by yourself. We have a whole fucking team here. So that was dope. So last September we launched that's another person giving me that skip the line out here. So all of a sudden we bring it to the legal market, but this time it's my brand. It's not just me as a strain, it's say trees. And so it looks even better now. They got jars, they got fucking the team, and they got some kill. And so we've been pushing that out here since I've been here. So that's been dope because we did launch in 2 states now. But because I'm independently, the second I came here, that fucking slowed down. So I'm like, I got to get LA back going, you know, and I'm just trying to build it enough to where we have a team to outside of me and whoever's working with me at the time, you know, because I've kept it after I did the farm and I had all those employees and all the shit and it tanked. I was like, let me see how much I can do by myself right now. You know?
Yeah, you said a couple hundred bands like it was nothing. I'm like,
oh no, it was everything.
Like,
no, it was everything. No. But
that shit is crazy.
But yeah, it took a lot of, you know, it took a lot.
Damn.
But so now I started, you know, just growing in my basement. What's dope here is you can get the extended plant count. They don't have that here. They don't even have a medical fucking thing anymore in LA. But here the patients, that's what's dope about Colorado is they kept a whole market for the patients. It shrinks every year, but there's still medical dispensaries and stuff catered to patients. So one of those was an extended plant count. So I was able to at least grow more than the 6, right? So they gave me a 75 plant.
Oh shit, hell yeah.
You know, but that's a lot for a crib, but you know.
Fuck yeah.
So I'm growing like 36 plants, right? Different tents. I got like a 6 lighter. And it's just been a great, beautiful thing because from going from 10,000 feet or 10,000 square feet and 5,000 fucking plants to picking myself up because there was a Canada depression for a couple of years of that tanking. But then I was like, let me just fucking grow again in my basement and master this indoor vibe so that when I go back to scale, I'm fucking ready for ends. So I'm going to take this as school and fucking just passion, and plus I'll have some kill to smoke.
Yeah.
So it was just a passion project this last year of just popping fucking seeds and applying what I learned on the farm by myself now and finding my own methods. And every fucking rip, I'm changing it. I'm changing the medium, changing that, I'm changing this. Just trying to find the perfect fucking medium. And I finally feel like I have it. I've been growing kill all year, but it's getting better and better and better. And now I'm about to pull down my best rip. But I already tested it in LA and did a Say Trees party with the weed with fucking LA stoners. And they loved it.
Okay.
And it's only getting better. And so that lets me know, like, you can grow kill anywhere, you know, when your fucking heart and soul is involved. Because some people are like, oh, it's boof out there, it's dry, it's that, you know. But it's like, I'm growing some fucking straight fire. It's Cali genetics. And I learned how to grow in Cali. But it's for sure let you know that there's boutique weed that can be grown here. Shout out to the few who are doing.
Where can we find the Push Trees brand around here in Denver? Because I tried. I was unsuccessful.
Push Trees is dope as Yola. Mine's Say Trees.
Oh, Say Trees. I'm high as fuck.
No, it's all good. Shout out to Yola.
Shout out to Yola. Say Trees. Where can we find it? Fucking Jahni.
It drops. You just follow the Say Trees page on IG.
Fuck
Say
yeah.
Trees with 3 E's.
Say Trees with 3 E's.
Follow Boulder Built too, and we just post what stores pick it up.
Fuck yeah.
Per harvest.
Okay, that's why. Okay.
But you know, if you tap in with me, you know, I always have Kill to Smoke of just some of the testers and stuff. But
yeah.
I'm wrapping up here, and we're going back to LA.
Cool. That's at Jahni Denver on Instagram, correct?
So, Say Trees is coming back to LA, and we're gonna do some dope shit. And just follow us. We keep it pushing, man.
Yes, sir.
That's where we're at currently. So that's the whole backstory to right now. Still pushing say trees.
A truly crazy fucking moving story, dude.
Yeah.
Any last messages you want to tell your followers or the people out there?
Just life's all about just having more wins and losses, but you know there will be losses, and you just gotta learn from them and keep getting better. And like my boy Demrick says, it gets greater later.
Fuck yeah.
You know.
That's what's up. Jahni Denver, everybody. Thank you. Till next time, you already know what it is, what it was, and what it will be.